pour a beer out the door for his favorite story of the day. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. Now, here's Pledge.
What's up, gang? Can't stop me now.
Good evening, San Antonio, and welcome into Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger. You can follow me on Twitter, Threads, Instagram, at I am Pledger. Follow the station on all of those platforms and TikTok now at SA Sports Star, or subscribe to our YouTube page at SA Sports Star, where you can watch, comment along with the show. The Blitz went down a bunch of different rabbit holes today. One of the rabbit holes the Blitz ended up rolling down was at Big 12 Media Days, where we had a lot of niceness, a lot of playing nice between a lot of people, except Mike Gundy and the University of Oklahoma. But Sark was bragging about what a good position the Big 12 is in.
I think it's a great time for the Big 12. It's a tremendous opportunity. I really love our football team. I love their mindset. I love where they're at. I know that there's been so much talk about the SEC and what's happening in 2024.
Even OU coach Brett Venables, who both of them are leaving for the SEC next year, said Big 12 taking a backseat to nobody.
As we all know, this is a conference that takes a backseat to nobody. Incredibly exciting, having the new 4 teams, Central Florida, Cincinnati, BYU, and Houston. Great coaches, great teams, great history and tradition that these teams will bring into this program. And I just want to say I appreciate our commission. The Big 12 is in great hands under his directorship, and what he's doing for this conference. There's no doubt that the best is still yet to come for this conference.
It's a lot of playing nice on a lot of fronts, but you figured there'd be some hurt feelings. Well, we finally heard some of those hurt feelings when it comes to Big 12 Deputy Commissioner Tim Wiseman, who was the former AD at Kansas State, by the way. So he, on the 3 Mile podcast, starts throwing a little shade on the way out the door.
I continue to maintain that the choice Texas made wasn't a financial one, because we all know what Texas resources are like. I think theirs was more about affiliating with a group of schools that on a given Saturday, they would rather get beat by Alabama than they would Kansas State or Florida than Iowa State. Or, that I think was really what was driving the way they looked out down the road. And in Oklahoma's case, I'm not as convinced that that was the issue for them. I think they were more of what I would call the reluctant bride that kind of felt like, wow, if we don't go, what happens to the Texas OU football game, basketball, all the things that we know from an OU and Texas standpoint are really important. So I kind of felt like if I was in Oklahoma's case, it would have been hard for me not to think about the long term. And don't we want to be affiliated with Texas and now these other schools?
As Big 12 Deputy Commissioner Tim Wisner on the 3 Mile podcast, throwing shots on the way out the door at both Texas and OU, saying Texas, it wasn't about the money, and OU is basically riding Texas's coattails into the SEC, and that the Longhorns were tired of getting beat by Kansas and Iowa State, or Kansas State and Iowa State, so instead they'd rather get beat by Alabama and Florida. I get it, man. You're hurt because the 2 biggest names in your conference just left you out to dry. But at the same time, let's not act like revisionist history. Everybody got hurt because Texas did the Longhorn Network deal with ESPN for over $100 million, and everybody was up in arms when any single one of those schools in that conference would have done the exact same thing. And just like Texas and OU, if they were extended offers from the FCC, any one of those members within the Big 12 would have done the exact same thing. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger. Thanks for joining along on our YouTube live feed already. Locked On Spurs, first one in. Dennis Harris says, catching me for the first time on his TV. Awesome. Look, I do it too. I woke up in the morning, and this morning was the first morning I threw R&R on my YouTube app on my smart TV. And got to say, kind of makes running around the house, getting stuff done, listening to the show a little bit easier. Anthony L. says he's ready for Extra Innings at Slackers tomorrow. Me too. I get to go out and about tomorrow. That is right. We are celebrating Rudy J's birthday as he turns 21 yet again. And by the way, Rudy J going to be joining me coming up at about 6:30 as we're going to talk about some of the shots being fired at Big 12 Media Day, Dallas Cowboys, Wemby, his weight, which, by the way, with Wemby and his weight, I wrote an article last night, just had stuff floating around in my head, so I decided to pull out my laptop and just start typing. Flow of consciousness, if you would. And part of that flow of consciousness had to deal with Wemby and everybody saying he needs to bulk up, he needs to put on weight, all of these things. Does he? I'm asking a serious question. Does he? Because I have a lot of things that tell me that's probably not the case, that he doesn't, in terms of just, A, putting on weight is extremely stressful. So do we want to try to force weight on, or do we want it to occur naturally? Weight will just naturally come onto Wemby's body as he gets older. That is, as he's working out at an NBA level with NBA facilities on an NBA regimen, his body is going to naturally fill out. It is one thing to put additional weight on someone who's 6'4", 6'6", and thicken them up. But to do it to someone as big as Wendy, who is, well, 7'3.5", 7'5", depending who you ask, I don't think it's a great idea to try and bulk him up. I think weight will naturally come onto Wemby as he is indoctrined into an NBA weight program regimen. He also doesn't play the game with needing to bulk. He needs to probably get stronger, and he's said that before.
I don't need to bulk up. I need to get stronger. I need to get my core stronger, I need to get solid. This is the thing.
And if you remember, he also talked about after he was drafted on Scott Van Pelt, he talked about, players having a target on his back, and Draymond Green and Paul George talking about how they would defend him and get into him and get physical.
This has been the case for my whole career, pretty much. People trying to go at me.
Understood.
People thinking I'm weak on the court or whatever. So this is something I used to, really. I'm not scared of this.
And he was asked about bulking up right before the draft with Robin Roberts on Good Morning America.
There have also been some who look at you and go, are you ready? The day in, day out, the grueling NBA schedule.
They could think that because they don't know my work ethic. I know how I work, how we work with my surroundings, my environment. I could never have any doubt.
And so when someone says bulk up.
Why? What for? You should tell others to skinny up.
Others should skinny up. And he's right. He doesn't need to bulk up. Kevin Durant never bulked up. And he's probably going to be playing similarly to that of the way of Kevin Durant in terms of more so on the perimeter and in. And he will be help on defense. He's not going to be banging with Nikola Jokic a lot. If he is, the Spurs are doing him a disservice. If you add weight too quickly or too much, and the body is not used to dealing with that sort of stress, it can cause breakdowns. And people are acting like he needs to put this weight on immediately. Why? Why are you trying to get this weight on him so fast, so quickly? Giannis is someone everyone always points to as, look, he got bulked up. Yeah, but he started extremely skinny, much like Victor Wembanyama. And we're talking about Giannis in his MVP years, like 6-7 years into the league. Yeah, Giannis bulked up because natural man's body, he grew, he got older, his body naturally put on weight from, everything he does in a weight room in an NBA facility, and his body naturally bulked up. I think that's what we need to do. It's not about the weight. It's about the weight. Can you wait to put this weight on? Everybody likes to point to the fact that it's the NBA. It's a man's game. He's going to get muscled around. Is he? I thought the complaint for the NBA was now it's soft. Nobody plays defense. Everything's on the perimeter, shooting threes, running back and forth. The league's wide open. These are all things I've heard on this station. So which is it? Is the league soft? Or is Wemby going to have to learn how to play physically? Because I was told the league's not physical anymore. We can't contradict ourselves because we're scared of something that we don't understand. Wemby knows his body better than anyone. His trainers also do too, which is why the Spurs brought them onto the staff. They have a plan for him. We just have to wait to see what it is. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger. You can follow me on Twitter at I am Pledger. Follow or like YouTube, Anthony L. saying that Rudy's turning 21 for the 21st time. Zion needs to skinny up. See? Wemby was already on to something. You don't know. Locked On Spurs wondering about adding bulk to his trunk. Sure. As long as it's slow and natural. I think adding too much weight too quickly is going to do way more cataclysmic damage than trying to just let it occur naturally over time. He's going to build up core in his strength in his core. He's going to build up strength in his legs. Coming up next, though, Jason Minix is going to join me as they had an interesting conversation about the Cowboys, and I have even more questions about the Cowboys when we talk about Tony Pollard and his future with the Dallas Cowboys. That's all coming up here on Extra Innings with Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star 94.1 FM and SASportsStar.com.
It's R&R in the morning.
Friday on R&R in the morning, it is the R.J. Ochoa Show. We bring him on at 7:30.
I wonder if he'll tell us about, a man named Pollard. Is he about to sign a deal? Is there an extension coming in that running back room? The Spurs get busy again. Are they going to play again on Saturday? We'll get you ready. The party starts at 6.
It's your wake-up call. R&R in the morning, 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sunday, July 23rd, it's the third annual Dive Fest Co-Ed Volleyball Tournament at Dive Bar, 6422 Babcock, with a $500 grand prize. Register your 6-player team today or sign up for the Cornhole Tournament with DJs all day long. Dive Bar, a free rides venue. Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 and Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Mother's Window Tint, your car stereo and auto security headquarters, has a smoking hot deal. Purchase any Mother's Window Tint, car stereo, remote start, or car alarm and get a 1-month free membership to the CFL Smoke Shop's private Amsterdam Club, located next to Mother's on 281 North. Enjoy your gummies in comfort while you get your windows tinted with any one of our high-quality, fully guaranteed films to stop the blazing hot summer sun from burning up you and your car's interior. MothersWindowTint.com with stores in San Antonio and Austin. Follow us on Facebook. Add a professional layer of security to your car with our remote start car alarm combo. Make your car go thump, thump, thump. Mother Thump with one of our subwoofers, stereos, backup cameras, name brands, and expert installation. Remember, do it at Mother's and save!
If you're a man and you live in San Antonio or the surrounding areas, you need to pay close attention to what I'm about to say. Are you having issues rising to the occasion? Do you constantly worry about whether or not you can perform? Have you completely stopped having adult time? Is it something you just don't talk about? Guys, we have a solution. Mojo, the 100% guaranteed male enhancement pill that's fast, effective, and was designed to reignite passion, performance, and confidence in the bedroom. Yeah. Be ready at a moment's notice with the Mojo Male Enhancement Pill from Pure Line Nutrition. And for those of you who have used Mojo, check out Mojo Enduramax.
Touchdown!
A new formula that improves the potency and effectiveness of Mojo. Get fast results, last longer, and be the man she'll never forget. Mojo and Mojo Enduramax, 100% natural male enhancement formulas, only available at Pure Line Nutrition. Call now, 210-494-2210. That's 210-494-2210. Or visit us online at thepureline.com.
Gomez Law Firm has been taking care of the people of San Antonio for almost 50 years, the leader in personal injury law. Jose, tell us a little bit more about what you do.
We do ride-sharing cases, 18-wheeler cases. Obviously, we've done those for very many years. Work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then you need to visit joegomezlaw.com.
We've been around for almost 50 years, and we're not going anywhere.
Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com.
This is Rudy J from R&R in the Morning. Join us tomorrow morning at 6 on your ride to work. Now, more with Joe and Amber on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
All right.
Welcome back to Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com, and on YouTube. Comment along like Shane Carter, who says legendary. That is right. It is legendary. 656 ESPN 210-656-3776. I told you about my article with Wemby. Go ahead, check it out. It is at sasportstar.com. It is actually titled "To Add or Not to Add Weight." And I don't know if it'll change your mind, but maybe it'll at least give you pause to think about it. Welcome into Extra Innings with Pleasure. I am James Pledger. Joining me now, though, is host of The Blitz, Jason Minix, on his way in. Of course, you can catch him every day from 2 to 6 right here on San Antonio Sports Star. Jason, what's going on?
I'm trying to figure out who the hell is Joe and Amber that Rudy J was talking about.
Oh, yeah. That's the show that I booted off the air.
Oh, okay. A little Ghost in the Machine thing?
A little Ghost in the Machine thing. I think that's probably something that needs to come out of there.
you know, now that, you booted off a show, we moved to 2 to 6. So I'm still getting used to getting off work at 6 o'clock. So I get in the car, I'm driving home. I'm on 281 right now, passing bidders. My car temperature says 109 degrees. And I know it's hot. It's that time of year the oven is on. But for the first time that I can remember, I go to get a piece of gum. I've got a brand new pack of extra fresh spearmint. And every stick of gum in here, there's 15 sticks or whatever's left of the 15 sticks. It's all melted. I mean, it's all squishy in the deal. I'm like, holy, I've never had a pack of gum literally melt in my car.
I have, but it's been a while. I would suggest instead of the sticks, get like the little thing that you can put in your cup holder that has all the cubes of gum. That way, if they ever melt together, you can just tear a piece off.
So just get a gob of gum, like Big League Chew, half chewed already. I get that, but what I like about these kind of, they're thin, so it's easy to put in that little center console compartment. My cup holders, well, they're, I don't know, I guess I could put that in the door. I don't know. I'm just astonished that I chewed a piece of gum on my way into work, and this pack of gum was fine. And now it's not. It's that hot.
Well, as you said, the oven is now officially on, and I knew I was shocked today to look at my phone, which currently says 105, but earlier today said 106. So we're on the downward trajectory anyway.
Well, and it was like 117 and 121 when I was moving Erica into her apartment in Phoenix when she went out to Arizona State.
But that's a dry heat.
BS.
There is a difference in Las Vegas and Arizona heat and Texas heat, though.
Yeah, but there's a difference between 109 in San Antonio and 109 in Houston.
Yes, very much so. And anybody who's been in both places when it's been about that hot will tell you it is hard to breathe in Houston when it's that hard, when it's that hot.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, speaking of Houston, you're from Houston, so happy 713 day.
Well, thank you very much. One of the few people that had a 713 area code growing up.
Celebrate appropriately, which means run around outside and sweat in places you didn't know you had.
Well, that's hard. Yeah, I'd have to find a way to make it extremely humid.
Walk outside right now.
Jason Minnick's joining me. You and Joe were talking earlier today about the tight end position and how I guess Joe was all in on Jake Ferguson, but now thinks because of the Luke Shoemaker pick that tight end may be at least concern going into training camp. And I know this is something that the Cowboys, there aren't a lot of concerns on this roster, so we have to kind of find them.
Well, and look, I mean, Dalton Schultz was a great receiving tight end for the Cowboys, but not a great blocker. We all know that. Jake Ferguson played well last year as a rookie. You got Peyton Hendershot. They drafted a kid out of Michigan, and Luke in the second round, maybe a stretch, but I don't know that the Cowboys were reaching at that point just because desperate that they know they had to go get a tight end. There's something about them that they liked. It is a concern especially if something were to happen to Jake Ferguson injury-wise, just like it last year would have been an injury concern to Dalton Schultz, which we dealt with. But, the running back room and the linebacker room are kind of the two areas that you look around and you worry about depth. I have that same concern on the offensive line. Starters are fine, a little bit more depth this year than maybe last year, but it's still a matter of when Tyron Smith gets hurt, not if Tyron Smith gets hurt.
Yep. So if that's the case, and the Cowboys are kind of in this mold to where this is as strong as a team as I've seen dating back to at least the Dez catch, no catch, probably even before that, to where every position feels very, very solid, at least in starting. And even then you have some depth built up.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things. Let me think about this for a second. You're right. I mean, the Cowboys have had some really good teams that certainly underachieved in playoff success. Tony Romo, Dak has had one or two that you thought they had an opportunity to do something special, and they just haven't gotten it done. All those teams, the deficiencies were on the defensive side of the ball, and you could talk about Dak interceptions. You could talk about an untimely turnover. Dez caught it. Dez didn't catch it. But the reality is the defenses were always, you kind of hold your breath and hope they could hold on. This year's defense, what Dan Quinn has a chance to be one of those very special defensive groups. The getting Gilmore to be opposite Diggs. You don't have one good side and one okay side. You've got two really good. They're good at the safety position. They're good at the linebacker position. The front seven should be very, very good. This defense has that chance to be very, very special. For the first time in a long time, you can look at this Dallas Cowboys team and say that the defense can carry this group. It's not up to Dak to try to outscore everybody that they're playing.
Does that make it more important? Because I look ahead to 2024 and their free agents and Pollard and Tyron Smith and Gilmore and Curse and Trayvon Diggs and Dorrance Armstrong, Malik Hooker, Terrence Steele, Tyler Biotish, all free agents in 2024. Dak's got a $59 million cap hit. CeeDee Lamb's going into the 5th year of his rookie deal next year at $17.9 million. And according to Spotrac, they have just about $8 million in projected cap space for that year currently. Dak contract extension fixes a lot of that. They will manipulate the cap the way they always do. I understand that. But does this need to be kind of more of this is our shot, let's shoot it. The NFC is as weak as it's ever been. And on top of that, this team is as good as it's been in blank years.
A combination of all of that, but to the root of your question, the salary cap, whatever. They'll figure that out. And like you said, a lot of that will change when Dak redoes his deal. Tyron Smith, probably his last year, and certainly his last year of where he's at. But I mean, you
do you believe that seriously though?
Tyron Smith. He came in the same year as J.J. Watt, and J.J. Watt is already done and working in television. So, the fact that Tyron Smith, I do expect to see a position change. Maybe that prolongs him, but I don't see him being one of those guys that are sticking around 3, 4, 5 more years. I really don't, unless it's at a role player type position at starter left tackle money for that. I don't have his contract up in front of me right now. I don't know what he has left on it, but they drafted his replacement last year for a reason.
That is Jason Minix of the Blitz. You can catch him weekdays from 2 to 6. Follow him on Twitter at Jason Minix. Finally,
and
Threads, and maybe TikTok someday soon. But lastly, as we talk about the Dallas Cowboys, the only other position, you mentioned linebacker, you mentioned depth along the line or whatever it may be, but all just secondarily issues. Behind Tony Pollard, that doesn't feel like a lot. Now, that could either mean a ton of belief in Deuce Vaughn and Malik Davis, or there's a move coming here in the coming days.
I think it's a combination of both. It's not a ton of belief in Deuce Vaughn, although clearly we all know the story. His dad works for the team. They've known Deuce since, he was a kid, but they didn't know they were going to get him. Where they took him in the draft, he wasn't a priority. He was on the board and it was right. I do think they have a belief in Malik Davis that we haven't seen enough of Malik Davis to feel confident, but you could tell by their lack of moves in that running back room. Ronald Jones ain't the answer, that they must have a lot of belief in what Malik Davis can do. And I'll kind of go to the Terrence Steele, none of us were excited about Terrence Steele's second year after his rookie year. And the Cowboys kept telling us how great of an offseason he had and how great he was going to be. And they were right. So sometimes you got to trust the guys that are watching every day and that know them the best. But I do think there is a move out there, because even with what they have currently on the roster, you don't have a short yardage guy. Now, does that mean they might not use a tight end, a Hendershot in a situation like that? I mean, if you listen to Micah Parsons wants to get in the backfield and do some things.
I don't think there's a position Micah doesn't want to play.
Kicker. But outside of that, but yeah, I'm with you. I do think there is a move to be made there, but it's not one of those high on the priority list urgency kind of moves. But we'll see in the next couple of weeks. You will see guys that are coming in. You will see guys from the USFL and from the XFL that maybe aren't already in a camp that will go in just to be a training camp body when injuries start to happen, or veteran cuts, on other teams. I mean, Hell, Adrian Peterson is still available. I mean, he could have Cowboys his vast jersey collection of teams that he has played for. And in a short yardage situation, he's a guy that says he's not done. Do you look at him? Certainly not for a lot of carries, but maybe some. I think in that running back position, no stone unturned kind of philosophy, because they are certain.
He is Jason Minix. You can follow him on all social media platforms at Jason Minix. Catch him and Joe Reinigal every weekday from 2 to 6 right here on San Antonio Sports Star. And Anthony L says, leave cookie dough in the car next time. That way you walk out to a treat.
Well, that's not a bad idea. I mean, you could get a snack. I mean, I probably could have cooked some hot dogs on my way home, or some eggs. I saw some lady on Facebook, I thought it was BS, where she baked a loaf of bread in her mailbox. Now I'm starting to think that's true.
Oh, man. Get home, fire up the grill, and make something good. And, well, I would say bring it to work tomorrow, but we're out on location.
Slackers, baby.
Come see us tomorrow at Slackers. No, Slackadochus.
Rudy J and his Rumplements. Yep.
He is Jason Minix. Thanks for your time this afternoon, Jace.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Coming back on Extra Innings with Pleasure, though, I go to the mornings as Rudy J of R&R in the Morning will join me as we get ready to celebrate his birthday tomorrow. That and more all coming up on Extra Innings right with Pleasure right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right. For right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most in reputation repair. Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
If this were a Reese's TV ad, you'd be staring at a Reese's peanut butter cup. And sure, my voice is peanut buttery smooth, but still, you need to see the peanut butter cups, right? No? I can really just say Reese's and you'll go get some? Okay. Reese's. 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 Really working, actually. Reese's. Reese's. I'm on to something. Reese's. Reese's. Reese's.
Boot Barn honors a Western legacy built by those who persevere through resourceful determination. Ariat honors that same legacy by bringing innovative technology to classic pieces. Driven by a dedication to the craft, Ariat blends timeless Western artistry with advanced performance features for the modern cowboy and rodeo athlete. Out west, ingenuity is second to none. Ariat at Boot Barn.
Jim was at the laundromat when he heard his ear said, "Maraca, senor," but his nose said, "Hey, freshest scent ever." Following his nose, Jim found a man pouring Gain scent beads into the washer. The scent, the freshness. Jim blurted, "Sir, your scent maracas smell amazing." You could call them scent maracas, but most noses call them Gain scent beads. Try Gain scent beads, way fresher than detergent alone.
The Dell Technologies Black Friday and July event starts now with limited quantity deals on top business PCs with Windows 11 Pro. Save on select Vostro laptops with built-in security features and select Latitude laptops with enhanced privacy, collaboration, and connectivity. Plus, get special financing with Dell Business Credit. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. Offered to business customers by WebBank, who determines qualifications for and terms of credit.
The
IRS is the most powerful collection agency on earth. And if you owe back taxes, the news isn't good. The IRS is raising the interest rate it charges on unpaid taxes, and further rate hikes are expected. Most people don't know it, but the IRS adds interest charges on your tax debt daily. So if you owe the IRS today, you will owe even more tomorrow. And it doesn't stop until you get right with the IRS. The good news is getting right can start with one phone call to Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm. Optima's tax professionals specialize in the Fresh Start Initiative, a powerful IRS program that can save you thousands if you qualify. In fact, the experts at Optima Tax have resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients. Call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-970-3199. That's 800-970-3199. 800-970-3199.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
If this were a Reese's TV ad, you'd be staring at a Reese's peanut butter cup. And sure, my voice is peanut buttery smooth, but still, you need to see the peanut butter cups, right? No? I can really just say Reese's and you'll go get some? Okay. Reese's. 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 Really working, actually. Reese's. Reese's. I'm on to something. Reese's. Reese's. Reese's.
Tonight, I've got a bonfire at the lake with friends. First, I need a spritz of my off clean feel. My summer style is all about fun and not about... I don't need Mosquito Bite Red clashing with this crochet top. It's purple, it's bright. I could definitely pair it with my amethyst eyeshadow palette. The best part is, ugly mosquitoes won't be messing with my fiery vibes. With Off Clean Feel, I've got 8 hours of not sticky, fragrance-free protection. Get your pre-party protection on with Off Clean Feel. SC Johnson, a family company.
Talk dirty to me.
Welcome back into the Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger. You're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You can follow the station at SA Sports Star. Follow me at I am. And yes, we are on TikTok, both the station and myself. Now, they weren't talking dirty to one another, but they were definitely getting a little sideways with one another at Big 12 Media Days today, or at least the ones that are still in the conference are. And Rudy J from R&R in the Morning is joining me now. And I know y'all talked about the Big 12 and where they stand and Arch Manning and Quinn Ewers this morning. And it was a good conversation, but y'all didn't have this context when y'all got there, because at first, Rudy, thanks for joining me.
Yeah, all good, brother.
Listening to him and Rob Thompson every morning, 6 to 10, right here on San Antonio Sports Star. But Sark said yesterday, good time for the Big 12, right?
It's a great time for the Big 12.
Great time for the Big 12. Brent Venables.
But you're leaving.
But you're leaving. But Brent Venables, the other one that's leaving.
As we all know, this is a conference that takes a backseat to nobody.
But they're leaving.
But you're leaving.
Now, the cherry on top of the sundae with all of this today is the comments of the Big 12's Deputy Commissioner, Tim Wiseman, who was on the 3 Mob podcast. And for context, this guy is the former AD from 2001 to 2008 at Kansas State, and 3 Mob podcast is a Kansas State-centric podcast. Well, he said this today.
I continue to maintain that the choice Texas made wasn't a financial one, because we all know what Texas resources are like. I think theirs was more about affiliating with a group of schools that on a given Saturday, they would rather get beat by Alabama than they would Kansas State or Florida than Iowa State. Or, that I think was really what was driving the way they looked out down the road. And in Oklahoma's case, I'm not as convinced that that was the issue for them. I think they were more of what I would call the reluctant bride that kind of felt like, wow, if we don't go, what happens to the Texas OU football game, basketball, all the things that we know from an OU and Texas standpoint are really important. So I kind of felt like if I was in Oklahoma's case, it would have been hard for me not to think about the long term. And don't we want to be affiliated with Texas and now these other schools?
First
Wow.
time hearing that audio, Rudy. What do you think?
He kind of called Texas like he called Texas that kid that just wants to be in the cool crowd, no matter if people really like him or not. And then he just said, "Oh, you pretty much be riding their coattails." It was borderline disrespectful.
It
Like
wasn't
when you tell
borderline.
somebody, when you tell somebody you'd rather lose to Florida than Iowa State or Alabama or Kansas State, which I think, if I'm not mistaken, over the past couple of years, Texas has lost to both of those schools.
They have.
Those are direct shots. Now, I mean, if he's speaking facts, it may now Texas fan may not want to hear that. And I don't give a damn what OU fan thinks. They're irrelevant in this conversation. Who gives a damn what OU fan thinks? But if Texas fans feel some type of way about it, and if it stings, it's because it's true. But it is a money grab, though. That's the only thing I disagree with them on. Yes, Texas makes a lot of money, but everybody wants to make more money. And if you can get a $60 million check every year from the SEC on top of the $200 million you make per year, you do it. So I disagree with them on like it's not a money thing. It's always a money thing.
And my favorite thing about hearing this, and part of me loves hearing this because it just solidifies the fact that I think they're doing the right thing. It's like when everybody seemingly got mad at Texas for the Longhorn Network. Everybody getting mad at Texas and OU for going to the SEC. All of you would have done the exact same thing if in their situation and you were asked about either of those situations, whether it was your own network that would have paid you over $100 million or if it was going to the SEC to make a boatload of money there. If you were invited, you too would have picked up everything you own and said, "See you later, Big 12."
I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. So did the right thing, but there is some truth in some of the things. And but if I'm Texas and my goal is to be in that top 12 come 2024 when we do the expanded, yes, I would rather lose to Florida or to Alabama because those two losses look better than a Kansas State loss or an Iowa State loss. And maybe the committee shows me a couple of love. I sneak in the back door at the 11th or 12th seed. I'm just speaking hypothetically on exactly what he said. Yes, those two losses look better than two losses in the Big 12 because the SEC is king. So, yeah, he's right. And if I'm Texas, I would tip my cap to him and say, yeah, we agree.
Does hearing this and hearing what Mike Gundy said about the Bedlam rivalry being history, does that give you more want to watch Big 12 football this year?
Man,
at least in terms of Texas and OU are on the field, doesn't matter who they're playing.
Man, I was telling Rob today, dude, like, I'm not going to be rushing to a TV on Saturday to watch BYU Iowa State.
No.
Like, I'm not. I'm not going to be rushing to my television to watch Baylor Cincinnati. If I catch it, I catch it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's not a whole lot of games in the Big 12 once Texas OU leaves that I'm missing golf for. All right, we're playing golf. Well, UCF is going to be playing Kansas. Like I said, I'm playing golf. You know what I mean? Like, it's not too sexy. Now, come basketball season, we can talk. But football season, I think if Brett Yormark is the marketing genius that he is coming from Rock Nation,
mm-hmm.
you go out and you give Deion Sanders a call at Colorado and you give Utah a call. You go get Colorado and Utah, now we cooking with oil. Because right now, with the 4 teams they added, it's nothing there that really tickles my fancy.
You're absolutely right. That is fantastic. Now, if it's UCF Kansas, you're not tuning in. If it's Iowa State Baylor, you're not tuning in. But dismiss any of those teams and insert Texas versus blank or OU versus blank. Is that getting you to at least pay attention?
Yes. Like I at least again, depending on who it is, but it's Texas. It's our region.
Well, yeah.
We're also a part of our job. But again, I want to watch. Yeah, I want to watch Quinn Ewers. I want to watch Xavier Worthy. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see what Brent Venables can do out from under Davo Swinney's wing. So, yeah, that's a huge difference. And that's why that the deputy sheriff, whatever the hell you said he was, that's why he's so salty. Because he knows, like, this is a big blow to the Big 12.
It's a massive blow to the Big 12, and more so than just, Ewers and Worthy and all that. I just want to see, because every team has those 2 games on their schedule circled. I don't care who you are. Those
Great
2
point.
games are now circled on their calendars, not just for the teams,
You know what? You're
but
right.
the
Great
fans
point.
as well for the teams on the road.
Great point.
And that's going to make it
Great point.
intense.
Great point. Yeah, because you want to send them off with losses. Like, you may be playing crappy for 4 or 5 weeks in a row, but if Texas comes to town, you're going to play. Everybody in the Big 12 this year is going to play their best games against those 2 teams. So I think that's a great take. 100%.
He is Rudy J. You can catch him every morning, 6 to 10 on R&R in the morning with he and Rob Thompson. But tomorrow after the show, you got to come.
What up?
You got to come glad hand, baby. We get to celebrate Rudy J.
I know, dog. That's and you get what you doing. You're going to do your show from Slackers Nacogdoches, aren't you?
Yeah, they're gonna let me out of the glass box of fun to come hang out with y'all.
What, you got an outfit ready? You know, me and you get fly. We get fresh.
Oh, I've got an outfit ready. I'm just I'm gonna leave it at boxing.
Oh, okay. So you got an outfit at the foot of your bed like it's the first day of school.
Oh, absolutely, I do.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, dog. I went and got my outfit yesterday. So I'm
so
ready.
you got yours too?
Yeah. You know, me and you, it's in us, not on us. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's got to be in you.
And that's a Havana Nights theme, right?
Yeah, and that don't let that scare you off for anybody listening that wants to
for
come.
sure,
Like,
for sure.
I know Frank put that on the flyer, and hey, you know what? If you want to catch that vibe, catch that vibe. But if you want to also, wear a suit, or if you want to wear a T-shirt, whatever, just come through. That's all that matters. Let's just celebrate and have a good time, no matter what you got on.
He is Rudy J. Come celebrate with us tomorrow for his birthday as he turns 21 yet again.
Yes, sir.
We will be at Slackers Nacogdoches. We get there at 2 for the Blitz, and we're staying till there's question marks on the flyer.
Yeah.
Roll through.
Don't be a good
listen
time.
to Minix. Don't be buying him Rumple Mints. He likes tequila and vodka.
Yes. Did he tell people to buy me Rumple?
Oh, absolutely. Minix has talked all day about buying you Rumple.
No, we're not doing that.
But
dog.
I'm trying to get you the good stuff.
My man. That's why you my guy.
He is Rudy J. Every morning, 6 to 10, especially tomorrow morning because y'all have the RJO Show.
RJO Show. I can't wait. That's my dude, too. Looking forward to it. Appreciate you, Clay.
Appreciate you taking the time this afternoon, Rudy.
Always, bro. Later.
That is Rudy J., co-host of R&R in the Morning. He and Rob Thompson every weekday morning from 6 to 10. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger. You can follow along on Twitter, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, at I Am Pledger. Same for all of those social media platforms for at SA Sports Star. Give us a follow, like, subscribe, and hey, follow along on YouTube at SA Sports Star. Like, subscribe, and you can comment along with the show. But when we come back, I get to pour one out for the day, and I think I might have to pour one out for a Dallas Cowboy. I'll explain next right here on San Antonio Sports Star 941 and SASportsStar.com.
It's R&R in the morning.
Friday on R&R in the morning, it is the RJ Ochoa Show. We bring him on at 7:30.
I wonder if he'll tell us about, well, a man named Pollard. Is he about to sign a deal? Is there an extension coming in that running back room? The Spurs get busy again. Are they going to play again on Saturday? We'll get you ready. The party starts at 6.
It's your wake-up call. R&R in the morning, 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Mother's Window Tint, your car stereo and auto security headquarters, has a smoking hot deal. Purchase any Mother's Window Tint, car stereo, remote start, or car alarm and get a 1-month free membership to the CFL Smoke Shop's private Amsterdam Club, located next to Mother's on 281 North. Enjoy your gummies in comfort while you get your windows tinted with any one of our high-quality, fully guaranteed films to stop the blazing hot summer sun from burning up you and your car's interior. MothersWindowTint.com with stores in San Antonio and Austin. Follow us on Facebook. Add a professional layer of security to your car with our remote start car alarm combo. Make your car go thump, thump, thump. Mother thump with one of our subwoofers, stereos, backup cameras, name brands, and expert installation. Remember, do it at Mother's and save!
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
If you're a man and you live in San Antonio or the surrounding areas, you need to pay close attention to what I'm about to say. Are you having issues rising to the occasion? Do you constantly worry about whether or not you can perform? Have you completely stopped having adult time? Is it something you just don't talk about? Guys, we have a solution. Mojo, the 100% guaranteed male enhancement pill that's fast, effective, and was designed to reignite passion, performance, and confidence in the bedroom. Yeah. Be ready at a moment's notice with the Mojo Male Enhancement Pill from Pure Line Nutrition. And for those of you who have used Mojo, check out Mojo Enduramax.
Touchdown!
A new formula that improves the potency and effectiveness of Mojo. Get fast results, last longer, and be the man she'll never forget. Mojo and Mojo Enduramax, 100% natural male enhancement formulas, only available at Pure Line Nutrition. Call now, 210-494-2210. That's 2210, or visit us online at thepureline.com.
Attention, attention, all my poker playing guys and gals. SA Card House has another big month planned for you. July 19th through July 23rd, they're going to have the mystery bounty, the NLH tournament, $100K guaranteed. That's right. SA Card House off 281 and Bitters. This July tournament is going to be big, and you ain't going to want to miss it. $300 get you $30K in chips, and 35% of that prize pool is going to go to those bounties. Also, $100 add-on get you another $40K in chips. Day 1 flights, 20-minute blinds. Day 2 flights, 30-minute blinds. 10% of the field is going to advance. And also, they got the 10K bounty guaranteed. There's going to be at least one 10K bounty guaranteed. Check it all out for yourself at sacardhouse.com. That's the mystery bounty, 100K guaranteed. Just last month, they did 151. It's what they do. Why wouldn't you come on down? Check it all out at SA Card House, 281 and Bitters.
Texas, the Powerball jackpot is over $600 million. Buy official Texas lottery tickets right from your phone at jackpot.com. Get a free ticket with your first play. Go to jackpot.com. Jackpot.com.
Paid for by jackpot.com. You must be 18 or older to order a lottery ticket. Please play responsibly. If you or someone who knows a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
We're going abroad for the first time in years. To Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
I've always gotten tons of UTIs. Cranberry products never worked for me, and I was desperate for a way to be proactive. I'm Jenna Ryan, CEO and founder of Eucora. We've worked with doctors to develop effective urinary tract health products. Eucora is helping over 100,000 women stay healthy. Ready to join them? Get 30% off at eucora.com/radio. That's uqora.com/radio.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
It can happen in an instant. A car accident can change your life forever, from serious injuries to mounting medical bills to battling insurance companies. Accidents make life harder than it should be. If you've been in an accident, George Salinas Injury Lawyers are here for you. They're local, experienced, and ready to fight for results that make a difference. If you've been injured, don't call just any lawyer. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers at 210-225-0909 or visit georgesalinas.com.
George gets justice. Listen to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on your Amazon or Google smart speaker and just say, Alexa, play the Blitz on San Antonio Sports Star.
Never leaving on a high note. All day, going up and down so
I'm always
constantly.
going to leave you on a high note here on Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger. Thanks for joining me this afternoon as we get ready to head out the door. But as I head out the door, I always like to pour one out as I head out the door.
Pour me, pour me, pour me, pour me.
And I'm going to pour one out the door for the Dallas Cowboys. I don't give the Dallas Cowboys a lot of flowers a lot of the time, but I do feel like I try to give it where it's deserved. And right now, as we stand on July the 13th, the Dallas Cowboys are extremely good. They're one of the top 3 teams, if not top 2, depending on health of quarterback in San Francisco, in the NFC. Their defense is going to be a top 5 unit in the NFL. I have a really good feeling about that. I think Sam Williams will be in for a bigger role. I think last year was the aberration with the 15 turnovers for Dak, or interceptions for Dak Prescott. That is an aberration. Throughout his career, he's usually a lot more careful with the ball than he is with being loose with it. So I do think Dak Prescott will regress back to the mean and not have as many turnovers as he did last season. They added Stephon Gilmore. They're healthy on their offensive line. Tony Pollard is primed and ready to be a lead role, but I do think he needs a complement to take a load off of him, in a sense, in terms of how many carries he's may be forced to actually have to take on. Can Malik Davis be that guy? I don't know. But in terms of position by position, when starting groups, they're as deep as I can remember them being. And you got to admit, the NFC is not as that strong. So the path for them to a Super Bowl could be as easy as it's ever going to get. Cowboys can solidify themselves as one of the best teams with maybe one more move this offseason. We'll see. But remember, we'll be in Oxnard here in a couple of weeks for Cowboys training camp. But tomorrow, we're going to be at Slackers Nacogdoches. That right, Slackadocious, as we get ready to celebrate Rudy J's birthday. And come see me, because Extra Innings, we will be live and thriving as me and Rob Thompson take you up to the party starting.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
10-yard line. Touchdown, Vegas. What a wild finish.
Your home for the NFL.